Hey guys, this is another long video where I just ramble about stuff that's on my mind. I kind of actually want to turn this into a series, so if you have suggestions for what to call this series, let me know in the comments. But in this video, I want to talk a little bit about organization and why that's important to me and why it's important to the future of this YouTube channel. So first of all, I hope you're enjoying the Investing 101 series that I've been working on. I'm trying to pump out videos as fast as I can, but I've got a lot going on between my day job and my hobbies, which include this YouTube channel. So I will try to continue the one video per week pace, but so I think I'm going to keep releasing these unstructured videos. I think it's a good opportunity for you to just get to know me better, and this is just kind of longer form content for those that are interested. I think once YouTube Shorts is more of a thing, I think maybe I'll start making some shorts as well. But yeah, I think I'm going to turn this into a recurring series, unless I get significant complaints like, too long, didn't watch, but many thanks to my editor, Buzz, who sifts through these videos and painstakingly condenses it into something that isn't complete garbage. So thank you so much to Buzz. Go check out his channel, which I always link in the description. And let's talk about the D word. And by D word, I of course mean data, because my channel is called My Data Driven Life. And if you look at the list of videos that I've released so far, I mean, they're somewhat related to the topic of data, but I haven't actually shown you any data. Like, I haven't shown you like a spreadsheet of numbers or charts or something like that. And this is something that I'm acutely aware of, and I plan to release some videos at some point fairly soon. I would say February or March probably. But yeah, data is definitely in the name, My Data Driven Life, MDDL, and that is the overarching theme of this channel. But I am going to be working on something along those lines fairly soon, so stay tuned. That was a bit of a tongue twister right there. I've been working kind of slowly on this in the background. I do collect a bunch of data points about myself. I collect like my weight every single day. I record the number of steps that I take on my little Fitbit right here. But yeah, I've been trying to figure out how to best collect all this data and kind of combine it into one holistic view of everything. And so my first idea was to probably put this all in a spreadsheet and use like Google Sheets charts to visualize everything. I think the Google Sheets charts could be a little bit more feature rich. There's a lot of things that just aren't going to look as complete as I want them to. I eventually want to do some kind of like ML insights on the data, do some sort of auto correlation. Like, for example, I take the time of day that I go walking, and then I take some quantity that basically represents how productive I felt on that particular day. And then I try to correlate these things. Like, let's say I walk at 8 a.m. in the morning, and then I have a really productive day, or on another day I wait until 2 p.m. and then the day is kind of meh. So I consider doing this in a spreadsheet, and I do have a lot of stuff that I do track in spreadsheets right now, but they're not in a state where I want to kind of share them with the channel just yet. My other thought was to create a custom app, and so I wouldn't have to make this terribly complicated. What I was going to do is basically create a very simple API in Go and make a very simple like React or Vue app that allows me to do data entry. And then I've got the mydatadrivenlife.com website, which is a Vue app that I'm going to work on over time. My eventual goal is to take all the data that I want to publicly share and put it all on mydatadrivenlife.com. But a custom app still takes a lot of work. You have to set up the database, you have to write tests, you have to write a bunch of code, which I love to do, but I also have very limited time. I'm doing this YouTube channel, I'm doing my day job, I'm trying to start a vertical farming business. So there's a lot of things on my plate right now, and that doesn't even include all the stuff that I do for fun with friends, like friends that I game with regularly, a podcast that I'm working on. There's all kinds of stuff on my plate, and my time is pretty limited. So I actually just found this app called AppSheet, and AppSheet, AppSheet. And basically what it does is it's a no-code way to set up an app. You basically use spreadsheets as data sources, and it has kind of a WYSIWYG editor for putting together a UI. I'm a programmer by trade, but I will not feel shame, going with a no-code solution if it saves me time and saves me effort. So I think I'm going to try to put something together with AppSheet pretty soon, and hopefully I can prototype something pretty rapidly and then share it with you guys. Not the app itself, but the actual results, like the charts and stuff. And at that point, what I probably want to do, and this is just kind of a tentative plan, I want to do quarterly metric review videos. And basically, I'm going to go over all the different metrics that I collect about myself and talk about like where I've seen improvements and where I need to still make improvements and stuff like that. But I've done a lot of thinking. I tend to do this quite a lot. Pretty much every week, I'm kind of converging more and more on ideas about what I want to do with life and what I think my purpose is. And, even more abstract questions like, what is the meaning of life? These are things that I think about pretty much every day. It doesn't help that I listen to podcasts where they talk about this stuff a lot. But I think my life goal, as I understand it now, is to be able to continuously improve my ability to take complex problems and then devise simple solutions for those that are scalable to pretty much anyone that wants to solve those problems. Right now, my current obsession is vertical farming, and so I 3D printed kind of a grower kit, and I'm basically germinating the seeds right now. I'm going to set up this whole like pump system, but I have very ambitious long-term goals if I can in fact turn that into a business. What I want to do is make it as simple as possible for anyone at home, whether they're a hobbyist or they just want to easily grow their own food or they want to start a business, to be able to hit the ground running and not have to go through all the challenges that I'm facing right now. So I want to like carefully look at the entire end-to-end experience of getting started with something like this and scaling it up and trying to see if I can make it more accessible to other people. But before I tackle those grandiose goals, I need to do a few simple things first. One thing that I have to do is make sure that before I start trying to organize these really big problems, I can organize my own life and organize my home. And this is kind of an ongoing process where each week I do a little bit more downsizing. So I go through stuff that I have in storage and get rid of some stuff, put stuff in like a donate box, and try to organize things a little bit better so that my apartment isn't as cluttered. And my apartment is still pretty cluttered, but it's a work in progress. And, I see the light at the end of the tunnel, but it's just going to take time. And in the meantime, I'm trying to grow my career as an engineer at my current job as a site reliability engineer. And so right now I'm facing a lot of challenges like, I'm pretty good at implementing a project, but I think as far as carefully designing and planning out every stage of the project and then delivering it, I think that's something that I'm working on. Long term, I want to kind of develop my management skills, and so I get to practice that a little bit on Buzz, my editor. Eventually, I want to hire some other people to kind of delegate work to. And so long term, I just want to continue improving my skills of managing and delegating work, and I think that will naturally grow my ability to be an entrepreneur and, at some point in the future, some sort of CEO, ideally at a company that I start. But it is extremely hard to juggle all the work that I have right now, along with all the other stuff that I'm doing. And I'm kind of going through this self-discovery phase this year where I'm challenging every single idea or assumption that I've ever had and critically examining it and making sure that I'm doing things in an optimal way and in a way that doesn't have any negative side effects. And so that involves stuff like looking at my level of confidence and kind of trying to understand any feelings of self-doubt that I have and understanding the root cause of those issues and kind of trying to understand what kinds of bad habits I have and how I can break those bad habits. And that's hopefully going to create a lot of content for the YouTube channel as well so that I can help other people overcome those kinds of challenges. So yeah, I'm just kind of like attacking everything in my life as hard as I can to try to figure out what's important for me to keep doing and then what's something that I need to cut out. And my end goal is that I have a much more clear understanding of what I want to do with my life and how I should accomplish the goals that I set for myself. So yeah, long term, I want to start a vertical farming business. At least that's my current plan. Right now, I'm starting on a very small scale. It's very experimental. And then I'm going to keep scaling things up. Like, the short-term goal is for me to be able to grow all the produce that I would normally consume. And then in the process, maybe even, fix my reliance on some of my worst habits with food. Like I tend to eat a lot of fast food and I'm trying to break that habit. I tend to eat a lot of beef and I'm trying to break that habit just because of the environmental impact of beef. I do regularly buy kind of like plant-based and lab-grown meat, as it becomes available at the grocery store, just to kind of fuel R&D in those businesses. Because that the profit margin after operating expenses for those companies probably goes towards research and development so that they can further reduce the price long term. And the price of like imitation beef is pretty close to the price of beef if you don't count all the subsidies that we have in the United States. That was just a long-winded way of saying I'm trying to become a little bit more self-sustaining and, kind of converging on being off the grid. So, it's definitely a process and this is going to take multiple years. That gives me time to keep developing this channel and keep developing my career. So I just wanted to kind of go over my ideas for this channel based on what I've done so far and what I plan to do. So I want to keep releasing videos that I think are helpful and videos that will help me build an audience. So that video I made a while back about 7 ways to be able to focus better at whatever you're trying to do. I want to make more videos like that. So if you have interesting topics that you want me to make videos about, let me know in the comments. And I'm going to keep doing these long form videos. I'm going to introduce some videos about like the data that I'm collecting and kind of showing you the potential of collecting this data for yourself, and you might get value out of that kind of stuff, you might not, but I'm gonna kind of try to keep the scope of this channel fairly broad at first and then slowly kind of converge on whatever niche I've developed for myself. And then revenue that I generate from this YouTube channel and other endeavors that I might have on social media going forward, I'm going to use that to fuel my startup costs for the vertical farming business, and I'm going to use it to hire other people for like making this YouTube channel and for the business so that I can keep growing stuff, because overall what I want to do is kind of put myself in an organizational role where I organize other people into making everything a little bit more efficient. So I suppose I'll probably still be the talking head for the channel, at least for this channel. I hope to at some point in the future branch out and make other channels or encourage people to make their own MDDL or something like that. Long term, I see myself in an organizational / management role, and I want to start working towards that. But right now I do a lot of the stuff myself and it's very time consuming. So what I want to keep doing is finding ways to optimize my time and delegate stuff that I can. So you'll see a lot more of that over the coming months and years. But yeah, everything right now is still pretty much a small experiment, and I'd love to get your feedback, especially early feedback about what you want to see happen. And if any of the videos on my channel are useful, I would invite you to share it with your friends or people that you know that might benefit from them. So I'm hoping to make some useful videos that you can happily share with your friends. That's pretty much all that I had for this video. If any of this resonated with you, let me know in the comments. If you have any ideas for things that I could be doing better, let me know. Join my Discord, talk to me there, follow me on Twitter, talk to me there. My DMs are open. So yeah, I will see you guys later. And I'm not doing this thing anymore. It's stupid. I'm not doing it. All right, bye.